Griselda Blanco. Griselda Blanco Restrepo, known as the godmother of cocaine, was one of the most central figures in the violent Miami drug wars of the 1970s and 1980s. From an early age, she was involved in crime. Stories claim that as a child she kidnapped and even killed, and by her teenage years she was already committing theft and fraud before moving into drug trafficking. At its peak, her empire was said to bring in $80 million a month, but Blanco was remembered more for her violence. She ordered hundreds of killings, including public massacres, and she was credited with popularizing motorcycle drive-by shootings that became a cartel trademark. Not even her family was safe, as she allegedly ordered the murder of her first husband, personally shot her second husband Alberto Bravo during an argument, and had her third husband killed after a custody dispute over their son, Michael Corleone Blanco, whom she had named after the character from The Godfather. In 1985, she was arrested in California by the DEA and released early in 2004 for health reasons and deported back to Colombia. In her later years, she was said to have turned to religion and lived as a born-again Christian. But on September 3, 2012, at the age of 69, while she was leaving a butcher shop in Medellin, a man on a motorcycle shot her twice in the head. She was basically killed in the same style of assassination she had once popularized in Miami. El Chepe. On January 11, 1996, El Chepe, whose real name was Jose Santa Cruz Londoño, had escaped from the La Picota prison in Bogotá. He was one of the founding leaders of the Cali cartel, and unlike the Medellin cartel under Pablo Escobar, which fought openly with bombings and assassinations, Cali used a quieter approach with corruption and bribery. This seemed to work, since at its peak, the cartel supplied up to 80% of the cocaine in the world. But after Escobar's death in 1993, all eyes turned to Cali. This was made worse by the bloody war with the Norte del Valle cartel that we previously mentioned. Its leaders, together with paramilitary commander Carlos Castaño and corrupt police colonel Danilo Gonzalez, agreed that Chepe had to die. They arranged an ambush disguised as a police checkpoint, and El Chepe was shot dead on the spot. Nacho. Ignacio Coronel Villarreal, also known as Nacho Coronel, or the King of Crystal, for his domination of methamphetamine production and trafficking, was one of the most wanted men by the US and Mexican government by the early 2000s. He rose to power in the 1980s with the Juarez cartel under Amado Carrillo Fuentes, but after his death, he helped strengthen the Sinaloa cartel alongside El Chapo. His niece, Emma Coronel Aispuro, later became widely known as the wife of El Chapo, but he's mostly known for his 2010 retaliation, when, after his young son Alejandro was kidnapped and murdered by gunmen linked to Los Zetas, he sent more than 100 men to kill 14 people only days later. On July 29, 2010, Mexican soldiers tracked him to a luxury home in Zapopan. When troops stormed the property, he resisted. In the firefight, he killed one soldier and wounded another before being fatally shot in the head. Inside the house, soldiers seized jewelry, luxury watches, rifles, grenades,